Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. Before we get going, the usual disclaimers, my little gripe about today. So, this morning, I literally went out of my way, pre-prepped dinner. Pre-prepped everything, right? So that I can get back on schedule and get out of autistic fog brain. And wouldn't you know it, I had the last call of the day. I like to call that particular call right before you get off work that goes on for a solid hour after you're supposed to be off work. The call that never ends. And sure enough, I got that call and I saw more recliners. I'm going to see recliners when I close my eyes. I'm probably going to dream about being asked if it's a 32 wide or 36 or 35. The seat with 23 on the inside. I'm pretty sure that's going to be my dreams this evening. Alright, but neither here nor there. Let's get to the usual disclaimers, folks. You're going to see the link to this report right there in the description box, alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, folks, you know the drill. Sign your name, click on your senator, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, folks, as you all know, I say it in every single video. When we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of, and catch clips of surveillance footage of, peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? Now, this upcoming Monday, we're going to have a very interesting article to go over. No, it's not the JRC, but get this. Out in my area, University of good old Mo here has started doing the facial features study on kids with autism. Oh, spoilers. 5 are boy children, 1 girl. 1 fucking girl. They go into the depth about the facial features of these autistic young boys. 1 picture of the girl, 1 mention about her side profile. Now, why do I have a problem with this other than the obvious, god damn it, female autistics exist and there's more of us than you think there are obviousness? Why the fuck is our facial features relevant? See, this is the sort of thing that leads to profiling, folks. And profiling is wrong, okay? Okay? And I can't believe I even have to fucking say it. You can sit there and say, but it gives us more about earlier detection. Or you can pay attention to your fucking kid. The 13 signs of autism posters have been at their ad nauseum since the early 90s. Okay? They've taught them out every goddamn April to get your hard-earned dollars to go into their mega billion-dollar industry that produce a cure that will never exist, okay? Alright. We don't need to create a system, especially with the medical model, which already causes enough damage to us. We don't need something else to deal with, alright? We don't need to suddenly get profiled, have people start staring at our faces and start judging us immediately according to the medical model, which is outdated and wrong. Moving on. Sorry, I had to get that out. Sorry, folks. Okay, it is 5:17. Yes, I am exhausted. So if besides that rant there, if I stumble over any of my words, my apologies in advance, all right? Okay, and I will link that to the Monday live, so come by, folks. Times are random these days. Doing the best I can to get back on a regular schedule, all right? Okay, so where we left off last time, health services. Health services. What a fucking joke. You tell parents to accept and expect routine bruising. Now you want to talk about health services, okay? This is gonna be a train wreck. The site visitation team was not permitted to accompany the part-time registered nurse on her daily rounds. During this time, she regularly inspects each child to observe any markings or bruisings which have occurred as a result of the aversive techniques employed in the treatment program. At the same time, she inspects for any other injuries which may have occurred. We've gone over this report before, remember. We talked about the nurse who wouldn't allow the observation people to go with her on her rounds. And we also remember from the 2006 report, decades later, how they would refuse to send these children to proper medical practitioners outside of the school because of the bruising and what the regular medical community would have to say about those injuries. And remember, if they send them to outside medical help, they have to inform the parents. They don't want the parents, outside observers, or anybody knowing what really is going on behind closed doors. Folks, from what we've seen from all the evidence here and a seeking feeling in my gut, I have the feeling that we have only just barely started to get the lid off this thing. What we are seeing is we're skimming the top. It keeps me up at night knowing that I don't even know half of what actually goes on behind those doors. It fills me completely with horror. Moving on. The nurse described her procedures to one member of the visitation team and explained that she performs her inspections within the classrooms. So, yeah, we're gonna let kids show off their bruises and take off their clothes. Can you imagine anything more humiliating? This statement was refuted by both assistants to the director. Oh, so they're going to mansplain what the nurse said, right? What she must have meant was. Hold up, read this here. They explained that she must have meant that she examines the children in the cloakroom adjacent to the classrooms. But is that what the nurse said? No, she didn't. She said she examines the kids inside the classrooms, not adjacent to the classrooms, not in a cloakroom, which is horrifying enough on its own if you know anything about the isolation closets they use even in public schooling. But yeah, I think the nurse meant what she said. One assistant stated that he could not permit observation of the nurse's inspection on two grounds. Oh, here we go, folks. First, the privacy of the students must be respected. Really? Considering they've got cameras everywhere. They literally have staff sitting on the toilet right outside the fucking shower to make sure they're doing proper hygiene. And I'm supposed to believe they give a damn about the child's privacy. Sure, Karen, sure. And secondly, the November visitation team from New York had observed this process. Did they? Then why wasn't in the report? If they're sending a second team out from New York, wouldn't you think the two teams had communicated with each other? Oh God, here we go. This report was damaging to BRI/JRC. Your existence is damaging to the planet. God, they're attacking us. You all don't just understand. They're out of control. I've got your control. Further, the assistant explained that an observation would most probably yield the same data as had been obtained by the earlier team. Really? Then why aren't you not letting the team go along with you to corroborate what the other team supposedly put down? Interesting, isn't it? We're going to leave it on that note. These folks love to hide information. They will not let independent observationists actually see everything that goes on in that school, even when it is their job to do so. This is the New York State Department of Special Education we're talking about here. This is not some slacker off the street. They put kids inside that school. They have every single right to make sure that those kids are safe and healthy. That is their job. Literally their job. Legally, the JRC is bound to allow them to observe everything. Reports, data, go with the nurse on her rounds, all of it. All of it. But these people have withheld that from state departments. They have not allowed, for God's sake, they have not allowed the federal government or even the goddamn state government to have certain documents and play the runaround. It's ridiculous what this place continues to get away with day after day, year after year, decade after decade, and nobody has said any goddamn thing in major media about any of it since 2012. It's like all of a sudden there was the story and everybody's forgotten. Well, I haven't. A lot of us haven't. So please, folks, we're going to end on that note. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this evening, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one.